Denver 7 On Demand is brought to you by Ferguson and BAC Appliance Center, the best in bath, kitchen, and lighting for your home.
I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Micah Smith. Here's the latest from Denver 7.
We do have a warning to be mindful of rock and mudslides in the high country right now. Take a look at this impressive slide that covered Highway 133 south of Carbondale in Pitkin County. Thankfully, no one was driving through at the time. Crews managed to clean all of it up in just a matter of hours, so that highway is back open today. Hundreds of people came together to express their First Amendment right to protest against ICE raids in the metro. That was their right and their choice.
But Aurora police say some took those rights for granted. Denver 7's Jason Grenauer has more on who police are looking for.
They're being referred to as persons of interest from Aurora police who believe they may have been involved in both trespassing as well as taking down the U.S. and Colorado flags, replacing them with a Mexican and anti-police flag. Now, we'll show you some photos of these individuals from both Aurora police as well as our video on the ground. This is of a woman, then a group of men, and then another man with an anti-police flag. Now, this happened during the anti-ICE deportation raids, a peaceful protest back on Friday. Now, through Crime Stoppers, a reward is now being offered up to $4,000 if you know who these people are. We spoke with the local district attorney, George Brockler, and the original protest organizer about what happened.
It's not freedom of speech to trespass on land. It's not freedom of speech to take down an American flag or a Colorado flag that you don't own. Lawlessness is not freedom of speech.
We definitely want to see that person or persons to be brought to justice and held accountable for their despicable and disgusting actions.
Aurora police say those persons of interest could face misdemeanor charges for property crimes. Their photos are also up right now on thedenverchannel.com. Reporting at the ICE facility in Aurora, I'm Jason Grenauer, Denver 7.
Kendrick Castillo's parents are now using their son's tragic death at STEM School Highlands Ranch to advocate for a better future. They joined the conversation Tuesday night about how Douglas County should use $13 million in funding to make schools safer. Right now, commissioners plan to use the majority of that money on school safety and student mental health services. Another $3 million would go toward hiring more school resource officers, and Douglas County will spend about $300,000 to create a community response team that serves the youth. John Castillo says his son's bravery inspired his newfound mission.
When he got up out of that chair and faced evil and took a bullet for his friends, that wasn't the end of his life. They silenced him, but they brought back my voice.
Castillo says he is pleased to see that more money is going toward school resource officers, something his son's school did not have at the time of the shooting.
The Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office is accusing an Army recruiter in northern Colorado of soliciting girls as young as 10 for sex acts and nude photos. Investigators are asking us to get the word out about 31-year-old Ken Hardcastle because they fear there may be more victims out there. Hardcastle is behind bars on a no-bond hold. He was working for the Army recruiting office out of the Fort Collins office since 2015. And the city manager of Brighton is now out of a job. Late Tuesday night, City Council voted to fire Philip Rodriguez by a vote of 5-4. Rodriguez is still saying this is a downright hit job. Denver 7's Eric Lufer has more on what exactly went down.
Philip Rodriguez still says this was a downright hit job. Retaliation for blowing the whistle on what he calls $70 million worth of water bill overcharges. Of course, Brighton residents footing that bill. It was deja vu inside City Council chambers last night. Just like last week, there was a lot of drama in the midst of a packed house. A majority of residents last night said they wanted the City Council to at least postpone the vote to get some more clarity on why Rodriguez was really being fired. Rodriguez made a statement after the vote came down to fire him.
Since I first shined light on the utility fund issue, those same 5 members who voted for my ouster tonight have retaliated against me. Tonight was their final blow.
Brighton's mayor has said for a while now that this is not about that water fund, but instead losing confidence in Rodriguez and his job as a whole. The city is waiting on an independent audit when it comes to where that $70 million went. Also, to add fuel to the fire, a lot of residents have lost confidence in the mayor. A petition, a recall petition, just moved forward yesterday. I'm Eric Lufer, Denver 7.
20 Democrats will again take part in the next round of presidential debates, and Wednesday we'll find out who will take the stage. Politico predicts both Colorado candidates, Senator Michael Bennet and former Governor John Hickenlooper, will qualify for the CNN debate. Both men are struggling to gain traction, though, but for Hickenlooper, it's also a struggle to raise money. He raised $1.1 million from April to June. That's half as much as Bennet and less than nearly every other candidate.
More than 80 federal jobs are now coming to our state thanks to D.C.'s decision to relocate the Bureau of Land Management to Colorado. 27 of those positions will be at the new headquarters in Grand Junction. The other 54 positions will be split between the Colorado State Office and the National Operations Center, which are both located in Lakewood.
As if you needed another reason to avoid a skunk, Jefferson County has just confirmed a skunk in Morrison tested positive for rabies. It was found last week near Meyer Ranch Park. So make sure to keep your dog close on a leash if you go hiking. Also keep curious kids away from wild animals and call animal control immediately if you fear someone has been bitten. Governor Jared Polis says health insurance premiums under the Affordable Care Act could be substantially lower for Coloradans next year, but there is a big if. He says the average individual premiums in 2020 will be reduced by more than 18%. Some could see their rates drop by as much as 41%, but this all hinges on federal officials approving the state's reinsurance program. That program could help about 250,000 Coloradans who buy coverage through Obamacare. So you've heard us talk about them before. The tiny house craze is taking over our Colorado and the country as people look for more compact and cheaper places to live.
But if you can't commit to living small, why not take a staycation in a tiny home? The We Casa Tiny House Resort is just about 20 minutes north of Boulder in the town of Lyons. Kenyon Wah works for We Casa and says people come from all over the world to experience the tiny house lifestyle to see if it's something they want to try for themselves.
I really think that tiny houses are really helping people think about our consumerism attitude. So it's one of those things when your closet's only this big, you have to think when you're at the store of, do I need another blouse? Do I need another pair of trousers?
Kenyon says about 30% of guests who stay in the village are in various stages of building or thinking of building a tiny home for themselves. Even in a We Casa, you need grande AC today, Lisa.
You do. We are looking at what's going to be a really hot day. That UV index extremely high today. So sunscreen, water, lots of it all day long. We're going to be under a mostly sunny sky, 93 by noon, 99 for a high by 4 o'clock. Great pool weather, but it won't take long to burn, so make sure, again, lots of sunscreen. We're going to see a few clouds to start this morning. That's clearing up, though. Low 90s by lunch, and very few storms expected this week. We'll see a better chance of those storms this weekend, but take a look at how fast it warms up. By 11 o'clock, we're near 90 in Denver, upper 80s near Fort Collins and Greeley, 70s in the mountains right at around the lunchtime hour, and then highs today, 97 to about 99 degrees. It's going to make it the hottest couple of days that we've seen so far this year with just a little buildup of cloud cover. 9:30 tonight, it is still warm. After sunset, we're still looking at temperatures in the 80s here in town. Early Thursday morning, 60s again to start, and then another day, but tomorrow's going to be a few degrees warmer. We're likely going to see our first triple-digit day of the year tomorrow by 4 o'clock, getting right around 100 degrees in Denver. So it's 3 days of this super big heat. This is going to be a pretty long streak of hot weather for us through Friday. Then by Saturday, things will start to cool down a bit. It's a big weekend on the west side of town there at Bandimere Speedway. Mile High National starts on Friday, and this weekend we are going to see a few storms potentially out west there along the foothills, then rolling east. A better chance of storms this weekend. Saturday, though, for Mile Highs, highs are going to be in the 90s and then in the low 80s on Sunday. So we're all going to get a break from the triple-digit heat by Sunday, and it will stay a little bit cooler, you guys, through the first of next week.
The Broncos also report for training camp today. Hopefully that will brighten your day. Thanks for watching this Denver 7 Now update.
Check back here later tonight for another update and download the Denver 7 app for breaking news and alerts. Have a great day.